let's talk about volume of pyramids. So we just went through volume of prisms, and the same process is going to be for pyramids. There's only one difference, which is why I started it at step one, find the area of the base. We don't need to identify what the base is with pyramids because all pyramids go to an apex, so they go to a point. Therefore, the other side has to be the base. Here's my drawing. It's like a cone. It's a pyramid. It's a rectangular base pyramid, so whatever it sits on is going to be its base. And then the other side is always going to be that point. So we don't need to identify the base. We just need to find the area of the base based on the shape it is. So in this case, we are dealing with rectangular pyramids, so I know my base is going to be a rectangle. Then we're going to go into the same step it is for prisms. We're going to multiply the area of the base times the height of my pyramid. Step 3 is where it gets different. We are always going to divide by 3 because if you notice in pyramids, they taper up. So it's like cutting off all of that side. And every pyramid is 1/3 of a prism, which is why we divide by 3. So let's go through this problem just so we can kind of refresh our memories on how to solve this. Make sure you're taking notes so that way if you come across a problem like this in the practice, you guys know how to do it. So find the area of my base. First, I'm going to identify what this is. It's a rectangular pyramid. So I am going to write out my T-chart. I'm going to abbreviate rectangle RECT, and I'm going to abbreviate pyramid PYR. So I see my base is 5 and 6. So my base and height of my base is 5 and 6. So I'm doing 5 times 6, which comes out to 30. We all know that. Then I'm plugging it into my pyramid formula, which is capital B for the area of the base times the height of my pyramid divided by 3, because of what we just talked about. All pyramids are 1/3 of a prism, so we need to cut them by 3, divide by 3. So I'm taking this 30, I'm gonna plug him in. Now I've got 30 times the height, in this case is 7. Sometimes you'll see it inside the pyramid. You just have to make sure that it's the 90-degree angle straight from the base up to the apex. It's not the slant height because I'm going to try to confuse you by giving you like a number right here. You don't want to use that number because that's the slant height. You want that straight up and down height, which in this case is 7. Now, everyone should see that there is something we can simplify here, and we're going to do that. We're going to simplify 30 and 3. So 30 divided by 3 is 10. And now I'm multiplying 10 times 7 to get 70 yards cubed. Okay, let's give a try at a word problem going over triangular pyramids. So we're going to cube our problem. Circle numbers, underline our question, box keywords, eliminate anything unnecessary, and then solve. So first thing we always do is read through the problem entirely. So Egyptian pyramids are massive. They have a volume of 74.4 million cubic feet. So they made a scaled model with a volume of 48 feet cubed. You could also read that as 48 cubic feet. The square base of the model has a side length of 4 feet. What is the height of the scaled model? So now I'm going to go through and circle my numbers.
I see 74.4 million, and that's talking about the volume of the Egyptian pyramids. I see volume of 48 feet cubed. 48 is the volume of the scaled model. I see 4 feet, which is talking about my side length.
And those are all my numbers. Next, underline my question so I know exactly what I'm solving for.
Now I'm solving for the height of the scaled model.
Now I'm going to go through and box keywords. I'm going to box scaled model so I know that that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the actual height of the pyramids. I'm looking for the height of the scaled model that they made. Here, square base. That's pretty important because it tells me what shape the base is of my pyramid. Now I'm going to eliminate unnecessary information, and in this case we do have some. So if you notice, I'm looking for the scaled model. Therefore, anything pertaining to the actual height of the pyramids, the actual pyramids, is not necessary. So I am actually just going to exit all that out, including the 74.4 million. I don't need it. So I eliminated unnecessary information, and now I'm going to go in and solve. Square pyramid, I am abbreviating. SQU is abbreviation for square. PYR is abbreviation for pyramid. So first off, I'm going to pull out my formulas. I know the formula for a square to find the area is just side length times side length. So S squared. I'm just going to write S times S, side times side. And then for my pyramid is going to be capital B times H divided by 3. I am going to go through and pull out the information. I'm going to write it out just so I'm a little more organized with what I'm dealing with. I see that the volume equals 48. So I know V equals 48. And side length equals 4. So S equals 4. The only thing I'm looking for is this H. I don't know what it is, so it's going to remain a variable. So now I have all my information, I have all my formulas, I'm ready to solve. So I'm going to plug this 4 in and do 4 times 4, which I know to be 16. And then I'm going to take that and plug him in here. But if you notice, I have 2 variables that I can plug in because I know what volume is and I know what capital B is. So I'm going to have 48 instead of V equals 16 times H divided by 3. Now I've got a 2-step equation that I need to solve for. So I see 2 things happening to H. It is being multiplied by 16 and divided by 3. I have several ways that I can solve this. I can reduce my 16 and 3, but it comes out to not a pretty number, so I don't want to do that. I actually am going to first get rid of this 3 by multiplying both sides by 3. So those cancel out. Let's try 48 times 3 mentally. So I am going to break apart 48 into 40 and 8. So I'm going to do 40 times 3 and then add that to 8 times 3. So 40 times 3 is 120, and then 8 times 3 is 24. So I'm going to add together 120 plus 24, and I'll get 48 times 3, which is 144. So I'm going to rewrite this out over here. I have 144 equals 16H. And my last step is to undo what's being done. And what's being done is H is being multiplied by 16. So I need to divide both sides by 16. 9 feet.